it's no difference. 4th and inches, I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rockabye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton, but with that gang, then make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look. See, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 gripping. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a round-the-way girl to let me. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about the bottom. Take 2 and pour out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight.
So even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Jet sweep. Carr bats it forward. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Randy Gregory. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. To try again after the sack. Carr. They'll roll him out right. Throw right side going to be caught by Waller. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Raiders are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Hunter Renfrow, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their 25-yard line. Here's Wilson. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative. They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jayon Brown. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw his car. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
29. Here's Carr to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. The Raiders at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
A run with Jacobs there on 1st down, but he'll manage only a yard or 2 at best. 2nd down coming up. 2nd down and 8. Again, it's Carr. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. After 7-0 on EA Sports. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Carr now to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. This is intercepted. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of him.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
That's caught left side by Judy. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. Now Wilson. Oh, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On first down, Wilson. Out quickly to Judy. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
throwing his car on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson. He's got the connection downfield to Hamler. And all the way home for a Broncos score. K.J. Hamler in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And it's incomplete. But a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Todd Bowles leaving his offense on the field. They're going to go for 2 here. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he is into the end zone. So they get 2 more on the board here just before halftime. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. Taken from about the 12. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Here's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jonathan Abram picks it.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
This is really impressive because when the offenses are running RPOs, things move very quickly. Fake, Ball's out of his hands, and they're trying to hit him in the gaps downfield. And instead, the defender reacts so well that he makes a play on it, and the ball falls incomplete.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Play action. Now it's Carr. Rolling to his right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his first rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. On third down, Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Fourth down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. The kick by McManus is good, and that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now Carr. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded at about the 28. They juked him. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Play action. It's Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Wilson. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. Throwing is Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And now here is another interception. Anthony Averett picks it. And he'll be taken down, although there is a flag down. Will this stand? So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game.
Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton 62 yards. And the Broncos have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Extra point from McManus is good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Carr. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick 6 makes this a 1-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. Bradley Chubb there on the tackle. So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Carr going to throw. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown Raiders. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders are on their way to a 2-0 start. Carr will look to throw. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. It's picked up by the Broncos.
It's funny to me because we actually keep a football in the booth with us during games, and I notice you cradling the football. You got it tucked pretty tight with the points of pressure here, and that didn't occur on that play, did it?
Now, you saying I wouldn't have fumbled if I was down there?
You would not have fumbled. You got that thing locked in tight.
I also have really large biceps. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, he's got a man complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 93 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Now they'll throw with Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Throwing his car. Connecting with Renfro. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Adams the man in motion right. Carr to throw. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there. And oh, it's blocked. Oh, the Raiders have it. But he is finally run down. Would have been 2 if he'd made it all the way, but instead, simply a missed extra point.
You and I have not met a coaching staff yet that likes to coach negative situations. You know, even plant that in their head. But you have to work on what happens if you get an extra point blocked, because now they can pick it up and return it for 2 points. You have to go over that.
Nice job to get back there and make the tackle, preventing them from getting all the way. "25 seconds to go. A must recover if they're going to have any chance." And the Broncos are able to recover, and that should just about wrap this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. Again, it's Williams. And some room to maneuver. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is up to 15 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. One final try now for Carr. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Broncos, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year, and they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they will fall to 1-1, and they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew,
come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the sword.